Going by the numbers, it seems like India's situation will get worse before it gets better. On the brighter side, more help is at hand. The world has stepped in with assistance. The first shipments have arrived. Early this morning, India received its first lot of medical aid from the United Kingdom. The package included 100 ventilators and 95 oxygen concentrators. An oxygen concentrator is basically a device that concentrates oxygen from the air around you. It is used to treat mild to moderate patients. It doesn't need refilling. It uses oxygen from the air, as I said, and it is portable. One concentrator costs anywhere between 40,000 to 200,000 Indian rupees, up to 2 lakh rupees. So India is getting oxygen concentrators from outside. Then we have something called an oxygen container, which is basically a storage tank that holds oxygen in the form of high pressure gas or as a liquid. Singapore has been sending oxygen containers to India. The second tranche was picked up by an Indian Air Force plane today. Similar containers were airlifted from Bangkok and Thailand. In recent days, India has procured 14 such containers from 3 countries. 4 have come from Singapore, 6 from the UAE and 4 from Thailand. These are empty containers. They'll be used to transport oxygen around the country. Countries like France are pitching in with specialized medical equipment. In a statement today, the French embassy announced a solidarity mission to India. France has committed to sending 8 medical oxygen generators. What's an oxygen generator? It's a much bigger form of an oxygen concentrator. It can serve many more people. France will also send the first installment of liquid oxygen. 5 containers will be dispatched to India. They can supply oxygen to up to 10,000 patients per day. France will also be sending 28 ventilators and 200 electric syringe pumps. Germany too is pitching in to tackle the shortage of oxygen. It has offered to share a medical oxygen production plant with India for 3 months. Plus 23 mobile oxygen generation plants are being imported. Germany will also send 120 ventilators and N95 masks. Then we have Australia. India's Quad ally, Prime Minister Scott Morrison, told the press about the package coming from Australia.
What Australia will do is we'll provide an initial package, and I stress this is an initial package. There will be more to follow of support and to deliver this as soon as possible. So 500 non-invasive ventilators, 1 million surgical masks, 500,000 P2 and N95 masks, 100,000 surgical gowns, 100,000 goggles, 100,000 pairs of gloves and 20,000 face shields. We will also agree to commence procurement of 100 oxygen concentrators along with tanks and consumables. DFAT will manage the movement of this equipment over the course of the next week.
So Australia might have halted passenger flights from India, but it is not placing any curbs on the movement of assistance. That's something that China is doing, blocking medical cargo. On Monday, we told you how China's state-run carrier Sichuan Airlines is blocking supplies. It had decided to ban cargo flights to India. Now, the Global Times claims the airline is making a U-turn. It is now, quote-unquote, re-evaluating the original plan. China's state broadcaster CGTN says the flights will resume. The question is when, because India needs supplies right now. Beijing will not address these questions. Instead, it is hosting a virtual conference on the fight against the pandemic. It has invited foreign ministers of Afghanistan, Pakistan, Nepal, Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. So every South Asian country is represented except for India. A reporter asked the foreign ministry today why India was left out, and Beijing said India is welcome too.
This meeting is the extension of joint efforts by China and relevant South Asian countries to combat the pandemic and revive social and economic development, and is an important component of international and regional cooperation in the fight against the pandemic. China has always been committed to the principles of openness, inclusiveness and win-win cooperation. This includes opening our door for the participation of South Asian countries, including India. We will also make positive efforts to help the relevant regional countries in their fight against the pandemic and protect public health of the region.
The meeting happened this afternoon. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi met with his South Asian counterparts. He said China is ready to provide support to India and willing to share Chinese vaccines in South Asia. So far, New Delhi has appeared less than keen on reaching out to Beijing. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.